Hey, what's up? I hope you're having a great day today. Lately, I've been all about
wireless.
And it's because after I discovered the freedom that you can get as a musician, as a performer, and inherently as a human being, we all need freedom. So I've been full of freedom, enjoying everything wireless systems have to offer. But today, my friend, we're trying the Mercedes of wireless systems for guitar. I'm talking about the NUX B-8 Wireless System. Let's go check it out together, my friend. I'm Jorge Lance, listening now. We break it down, baby. Alright, my friend, thank you so much for being here once again in another video. And as usual, remember to like, subscribe, and do all those cool little things that we like to do on YouTube so that you and I can stay in touch with each other. Alright, wireless. What am I talking about? I'm a studio dog. I don't need wireless. Or so I thought. But the second I started using wireless systems, I realized, man, there's a lot to gain no matter what you're doing. All that matters is that freedom. That opportunity to just like stand up off your chair and just like, I don't know, go open the door, go make a phone call, grab your drink and not having to think, oh, I'm tethered over here to this spot, I cannot move. To actually, if you're like me and you make videos for social media and you like play guitar or like any instrument, always trying to get the perfect shot, right? And that's why today, my friend, I'm very happy to show you the NUX B-8 Wireless System for your guitars. Let's check it out. So here we are, my friend, in my desk, and as you can see, NUX B-8 Wireless System. And the first thing that I'm gonna say, maybe call me shallow if you want, but the packaging on these things, even though like this is dirty and like old, because I'm sorry, my friends of NUX, they sent me this thing maybe like 2 months ago. But at that same time when I got this, I had just gotten another wireless system that I was already trying out and testing and making sure that I knew if it was good or not. And of course, I owe this beast the same amount of decorum, and so I spent a whole month using nothing but the NUX B-8, and I am not disappointed. So I could actually honestly tell you if I can recommend this product or not. And stick around a little bit longer where I'm going to tell you the pros and cons and if this is probably the ultimate wireless system for your needs. Enter probably like the most high quality cable I've seen. Just look at that thing. It's like a little tank. It looks like one of those like capacitors from like the World War II era, or like the ones that you put in your AC. Anyway, you have a 1/8 section. That is the one that you're gonna plug into your transmitter. And of course, your trusty 1/4-inch cable that this is the one that goes into your guitar. So let's just plug them in together. And the way you're gonna do this to your transmitter is that you're gonna see that there's this little hole right here that matches perfectly the size of this thing. And you're just gonna plug it in like any cable. But then this little ring right here, you're gonna push it towards it and turn it to basically lock it in place and make sure that you have a solid connection that is not gonna come undone. And this thing right here, little clip, you know, you can probably just like, I don't know, like put it right here in your belt, right? That's not going anywhere. Or, you know, you can just like go the easy route and maybe put it in your back pocket, which I probably am not going to recommend. But the best way and the way that I like to use it is this. For this, we're going to be using my PRS SE Custom 2408 because this is my guitar. But in this case, what I like to do, it's that I want to go to the side of my strap that has like the double strap, just so that it can make a, I don't know, like a snug fit, I want to say. And you know, you just slide it right in. Poof, safe and secure. Right, and then you got this dangly bit right here and you plug it in your guitar and you're done. Ready to rock. But before I keep talking, my friend, let's do what really matters in terms of wireless systems, and let's go do the NUX B-8
Range test.
Alright, let's do it. Alright, my friends, so here we are on my computer and I have a couple tests that I prepped out in and around my house so that we can check different ranges that we have. right, now we're going to enter the impossible rounds and we're going to talk about why. Let's see this one. Impossible. I'm not surprised. All right, why did I call that the impossible round? Basically because in this clip right here, when I'm like in the middle of the street, I'm gonna say that is, I don't know, pushing maybe 200 feet, I don't know, 160, 150. And that's because I read on the website that the range was like around 165 feet. But you have to remember that every time we're talking about a wireless system, that distance is measured when it's unobstructed. And in this case, the receiver is in my studio, like 160 feet away. There's doors, rooms, cars in between. There's everything in between. Like this has no business working is what I'm trying to say. I tried to break it and I did. But even then, something that kind of captivated me when I'm looking at the video right now and thinking about the synchronization, latency. Because you're going to see, when you see my hand, even though the signal is so weak and it's like being lost, and I want to say that maybe the wind is carrying through too, a little bit of the signal away from where we are, because the wind is blowing opposite for where the actual studio is or the structure is. So all these factors have something to do. But even then, with that weak of a signal, I feel like it's still like pretty much in sync. Like latency is not being an issue right now. Look. That to me is something pretty unbelievable, because I want to say that maybe something that people don't talk about wireless system, it's the latency. And that's, for me at least, it's the killer of the vibe. And in this case, it worked. And then in this one right here, why am I surprised that this one worked? I'm saying impossible because, as you can tell, I'm in like a total different position. And what happens in this video is that the receiver is maybe, I don't know, I want to say pushing like 150, 120 feet. But I am like the furthest that I can be with every single structure in the middle of it. There's fridges, like, you know, like TVs, like just imagine everything. There's like not a clear line of sight to begin with. And on top of that, there's obstruction of any kind. And in other tests I made, this is where all the wireless systems were breaking. And this guy, perfect. And again, look at the latency. It's almost like par to par with the video. It's like perfect latency. And if you've ever recorded guitars in the studio, you know what I'm talking about. When I say latency is the killer of vibe, I mean it. And the fact that this thing has virtually zero latency, or latency that you can feel, because you know there's latency in the air, there's latency in the cable, there's latency from the speaker coming to your ear. So that is going to be sort of like a subjective term, how much you're willing to accept. And the reason why I did this test with like that kind of funky song is exactly so I could figure this part out. If there's any problems when I try to synchronize the video with the audio in terms of latency or dropouts of any kind. And if you ever had these kind of issues, let me know in the comment section down below. And while you're there, remember to like, subscribe, and do all those cool little things that we like to do on YouTube. And you're this little bossa nova, my friend. I hope your day keeps getting better and better and better. Right, let's go back to this review. So again, right here in the menu, you have a display area. And if we click right here, a potentiometer that serves as a button as well, we can see that the first menu says home display. And you can choose from that thing that we were looking at or this other one. Let's see this one. So there you go, there's that. I much prefer this other one, so we're just gonna keep it at that. And then you have display orientation. Look how cool this thing. You can choose, depending on, you know, this is gonna come in handy in your pedal board. So depending if you wanna have the pedal like this or like this, you can choose this one and it just switches everything, right? But let's say if you need it on the other side of your pedal board, then you switch it to this other one. I mean, and that's neat to me. But let's just go back to normal. Then, of course, brightness, and I keep it all the way up because, you know, I have a well-lit room and it has to compete. And I love the way it looks. And then, of course, here we have the default wireless system. And this is like, they have like a nice little screensaver that I'm going to show you in a minute. But, you know, I have to stop tweaking it for a while so that it comes up. But then you can actually put your own image, which, of course, I don't have any right now. And you can upload one, and they have like this software in their website that you can actually do that. I haven't done it myself, so maybe that's for a different video. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see that, and maybe we can take it as an adventure. But we're just gonna keep it at the normal default. And then you can select your language from probably like the most speak languages in the world, English, Spanish, and I want to say maybe that's like Mandarin. And then right after that, we have the transmitter receiver area. You can go to even a lower latency or to a more conservative and stable latency setting, but I just kept it at whatever it is right here. Now we're gonna go to one of the most fun areas in this whole settings menu. It's the tuner display area. And first I'm going to start with the bypass modes just because that's a little bit less fun than what I want to take you at right now. But then you have just like simple bypasses, and then you can have a buffered bypass or a buffered monitor, whatever works your pedal board better. But the cool part, the tuning display, you have different kind of settings. And of course I have a regular one. Let's check. This is the one I have. I haven't tuned yet, as you can tell. But whatever, that doesn't matter. Look at that. All that matters is like, look how cool it looks. I love the color scheme. I love the endless kind of like waterfall effect that it has. Like it goes through all the gradients. I love that. But let's check the other ones. Then I want to say this one, for some reason, makes me feel a little bit more confident when I'm tuning. I don't know if it's just because like the target area, it's a little bit bigger. Okay, now let's check the other mode they have. It's like a weird approach on a strobe, but it looks to me like it might be precise. You see, when I pluck, it goes sharp, then it comes right back. I like to see that. So I like this display a lot. Now let's go to the fun one. The last display we have, it's this one right here, which came preloaded with the unit. I did not put it here, but what's cool about it is like through the app that they have in their website too, you can actually choose your own image that can go here. It could be like your band logo or whatever. There you go. I didn't know it wobbled like that. That's cool. Oh, she's like the needle. That's awesome. Hey, really cool too is that you can select what this guy does. And this is gonna be a good segue to the next area, right? But right now I have it set up that if you press this, the tuner pops up. But right here, you can see that it actually allows us to have a boost as well. Let's see what that is all about. If you go right here to the bottom right corner in blue, and you click it, you will see that you have a 12 dB clean boost. For example, you're gonna do a fat solo and you turn on this nice boost, you have 12 dBs. You're pushing your amp at that point really hard. And you can select right here in the menu so that that's like a quick access. In my case, I'd rather have it in the tuner because that's what I use it for. But other than that, my friend, I feel like this video has been going a little bit long. So let's just go get a few conclusions. So there you have it, my friend. The NUX B-8 not only gives you every solution that you need for your wireless system in your guitar, it's also like a nice little hub to have in your studio, because once you're plugged into that, you can go to your pedal board, and then you can use this as an effects loop as well. And of course, let's not ever forget about the option of having a balanced output. If that means something to you, no need to go get an expensive DI anymore, right? Overall, construction, A+. This thing is built like a tank. It feels solid. It feels super premium. I want to say that NUX, so far what I've experienced, this is my first contact with any NUX product. And overall, I had like a weird impression. You know, I feel like in the Western world, we have been like created like this stigma against like Far East companies. But let me tell you, this thing is built like a tank. It feels great. Everything right now, in my opinion, that what I thought about NUX, for example, has changed. All I'm saying is like, this is like really, really premium, from the packaging to the every component. Like the cable is like super thick and nice. The transmitter works great. That clip, I've been using it every single day for like, I don't know, a little bit of over a month. And it's got zero signs of wear and tear. That if you're into that kind of design, honestly, you cannot find a better product than this one. That's why I called it the Mercedes of the wireless systems, because it's just like a really, really cool item, and I would 100% recommend. But not everything is rosy pink. And there's a couple things that, in my opinion, didn't work for me. But of course, this is all subjective. I just feel the need to share with you my honest thoughts and perceptions about this unit. I love how you can customize it. Everything looks great. In my opinion, maybe for the unit being this big, I would have loved to have a bigger display. Just because, you know, we're in this era where like phones, for example, have big, big, big displays. And when you see this, especially with this super feature, that I'm gonna commend them, because this is super cool. I don't know. The fact that you can customize your item and probably put your logo there, the picture of your kids or your pet, whatever silly thing you want to come up with. I feel like that gives a little bit of identity. This is not any pedal. This is my pedal. And when you have yours and you put your little image right there, it becomes that much closer to being just yours. Basically, those are the things that we enjoy in life, right? Those little ideas that we plant in our heads. For example, playing a nice vintage guitar. It may not mean anything in reality, but if you put a little bit of mysticism into it, it might be the most wonderful experience of your life. So without getting too deep, all I'm saying is like, I love that you can customize this thing, but I wish the screen was a little bit bigger. I wish the switch was a little bit bigger too, or that it had the possibility for me to swap it, like, you know, with like an Allen key or something, so that I can put one of those big heads, especially if you have it in your pedal board. Just think about it. This is like almost like hitting a needle, you know? And even though you can choose the direction that you want to use it in, I feel like it's still needed to have a little bit of a bigger knob right here. Just like the topper, you know?
But then the thing that I have the biggest gripe with.
As much as high quality this transmitter is, and as much as I love this cable as a cable in and of itself, like if they would sell this cable, I would buy it. I'm telling you, this is like the most high-end cable you're gonna find for your guitar. It's kind of crazy that they went this hard into making such a nice cable. Like anything from the rubber to the connector in here, it's like, it just feels premium, right? And as much as the transmitter also feels like a tank and you have all these cool features, this kind of thing for me, I hate to say it, but that's not it. It is a tiny little bit uncomfortable to hit. You still have something dingling, you know, from your guitar. No matter how far, I mean, maybe if you put the transmitter all the way here, I don't know, and you make like the cable super like tense, it could work. I don't know. Where I tend to put it, which is sort of like where I can reach with my hand, you know, like half of my back, you always have like this thing dangling, which in my opinion reduces a little bit of the perspective of the freedom that you get. Think about it from this angle, for example. When you go to a house and there's a beautiful view, but the window is small, right? And you kind of like want to make it bigger. So the freedom that you're getting with this thing, just by having this thing, makes you feel like the view is not as nice. You know what I'm trying to say? Nothing against it, because it's such a nice unit. And I love the fact that they went with the magnets to just like throw it in there. Boom. You're charging right there. I love that. And look how compact it is. Like there's no extra space wasted in your setup. It's just perfect the way it is. So nothing against it that way. It's just that I wish it was like something, I don't know, snug against the guitar body, something that maybe you can just keep in the guitar, maybe just turn it off and keep it in there and put it in the stand and there's no problem. With this thing, that's not the case. If you put it in your stand, then this thing is gonna be on the floor, like all droopy, you know what I mean? Like the cable is gonna be there dangling, and if you pick it up, the cable got stuck with something. So it's not the kind of solution for that. And I get it. Live, this might be the right thing to do though, because you want to have that thing strapped to your body so it doesn't fall, in case like you want to do like some kind of like acrobatics on stage and you want to run around and do your thing. But great thing to know is that you are not going to miss a beat with this transmitter with your receiver. It's going to be almost as good as having a regular cable, which in my opinion is just like absolutely insane. So far, my only experiences that I've had with wireless, there's always some kind of dropout, something at some point like starts breaking out, something, you start hearing that little noise. And in the worst case scenario, you'll have like somebody else's phone call drop in your system because the radio frequencies that they were picking were shared. You are not going to have that problem with this guy, because he's always going to try to find the best one for you in every particular moment and environment that you're in. Not only with your router, but with any router that you have nearby. And that is a big, big, big thing in my opinion for connectivity, reliability, and the only reason why I can trust the NUX B-8 to be my cable basically in the studio. I've experienced lately that I'm writing songs and I just by having the opportunity to stand up with my guitar and having the music play through the speakers and just like play, I come up with different parts, you know? I feel like I'm stimulated. I feel nice. It doesn't feel like my job. It feels like I'm enjoying making music, again, because I'm not forced to be in my chair. I'm not forced to be in my room. I'm not forced to be in the same position every time. And that to me, my friend, is worth the price of admission in and of itself. So let's say if I were to give it to you like straight and quick as a TLDR, the NUX B-8, all things considered, pros, cons, features, sound, reliability. You cannot go wrong with this system, and you would be making yourself a very big disservice if you don't go and try it out before you buy anything else. Because honestly, this literally felt like a big, big, big step up from my other wireless system solution. And if I were to just choose one, it would have been a very, very hard situation, but we're gonna make a video about that. Make sure that you let me know in the comments if you want to see that. And if you stay till the very end, my friend, I know this has been a long video, and like this format is a little bit complicated for me to make because I want to give you as much information as I can, and I want to almost like give you a second life experience with it. Like everything that I think that you should know, I want you to know it. I know the manufacturers want you to say things and stuff like that, but I'm not a sales rep or anything like that, you know what I mean? And you cannot buy me by sending me one of these pedals. So to me, what matters the most is exactly everything that I told you. But this video has been way too long, and if you really stayed here till the very end, please go ahead and type freedom in the comment section so that I know that you stay here till the very end and that you're a real one. Other than that, for any other comments and suggestions, if you just want to holler and say hi, go to the comment section down below, and while you're there, remember to like, subscribe. If you can financially support me, please hit that super thanks button right there. I thank you so much. And if you have some more time to watch another video, go watch this one right here. I'll be waiting for you right there, my friend. All right, see you soon.